Hello, 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 parents. It's Dr. Hepzibah, and I'm coming to you once more from the Town Square Learning Centre in Basildon, Essex, where we love teaching and we teach our children to enjoy learning. If you have been following the series, I've been breaking down the UK educational system for new parents, people who are new to the country with children, to really understand the national curriculum, the different types of schools that we have, how the selection process works, and the different exams that your child may be sitting as they go along their educational journey. This is the last in the series today, and I'm talking about 11 plus. So in the previous recording, I talked about the different types of schools that we have, and in that we talked about the grammar schools. So the 11 plus exam is the selective entrance examination that children considering going to a grammar school will need to sit an entrance exam, okay? Now, why would children or parents would usually be looking to get their children into grammar schools? They generally tend to have highest academic standards, so it's quite heavily academic. So by all means, if your child is not academically inclined, certainly would not recommend taking them through that process. And also they're a bit more strict, a bit more disciplined compared to the standard state schools. So there are various reasons that parents do prefer their children to go to grammar schools. And so of course, to access these schools, there's an entrance exam. Most parents tend to get tutoring for their children to help with their preparation for the 11 plus exam. And that's mainly because the content that your child is being assessed on is covering all of the primary school content up to year 6, and to an extent, some of the early secondary school content, some content from year 7 in math, English, and some places where we have the verbal and the non-verbal reasoning. Now, by the time your child is having to sit that exam, they will just be starting their final year of primary school, so in year 6. So that is when they'll be sitting the 11 plus exam. And so bearing in mind that that child will need to have covered all of the year 6 content and some year 7 content, of course, early preparation is quite key. And it's important that parents are part of that preparation process, and where you're in a position to afford a tutor, they can support with that content that the schools would not have covered yet, because they would now be starting year 6, and the exam includes content from the whole of year 6 and some year 7. So that is the main reason why most parents will be looking to get a tutor for the 11 plus exam. And also, if you do live in what we call the catchment area, so if you do have a grammar school near where you live, the entry requirements for you are slightly lower compared to people who live out of catchment area. So generally, in our case, in Basildon, students who are preparing for the 11 plus need to really score on the high end because we're out of catchment area. It's a lot of work and preparation that goes into getting our children ready. So by all means, yes, if you are thinking of doing the 11 plus with your child, bear in mind you need to be starting early. Definitely by year 4, you need to be preparing. You can start from year 3 to make the transition a bit easier and be better prepared. But certainly by year 4, you should be preparing. If you start in year 5, it's a bit of hit and miss, and it really just depends on the child's natural gifts and talents and how smart they are to catch up really quickly. And so, yeah, there you have it. If you do have any particular questions about the 11 plus that I have not covered in this video, because it's super short, by all means, send us an email or send us a message, and I will be sure to respond. In the next recording, we're moving away from understanding the UK curriculum series, and we're going to talk about planning, study habits, and etc. etc. Stay tuned.